Want to attend the legendary Thrive Time Show Business Workshop for free? Subscribe on iTunes, leave an objective review, and send us confirmation at info@thrivetimeshow.com to claim your tickets. Want to live in a van down by the river? Come by and see us at our Riverwalk offices, and we'll be able to make your dreams come true.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. It is the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. And today we're talking about how to create a lead-generating website. I just want to make sure we're getting this concept. I want to make sure that we're sharing it with the level of intensity needed. If you build a website that doesn't generate business and or leads, then you really just have a hobby website. But if you build a website that generates leads, it can change your life. It can change your life. So let me give you an example. One client we work with called Barbie Cookies. If you do a Google search for Tulsa Cookies, you will find that she comes up top in Google search results. If you type in Tulsa Dog Training, maybe you say, I want to train my dog, so you type in Tulsa Dog Training. You see Tip Top Canine, one of our clients coming right up there top in Google. It's a game-changing amount of money that can be made. If you type in Dallas real estate photography, there's a lot of typing you're making me do here, buddy. Dallas real estate photography. Calm down, I'm typing as fast as I can. Okay, here we go. You'll see full package media coming up on page 1 of Google. I want to make sure you're getting this. If you type in Tulsa men's haircuts, you're going to see the elephant in the room coming up top in Google. So why is that?
I got a recent win.
What's that?
A recent win. H2 Oasis Float Center and Tea House.
Yeah.
You type in Tulsa float tanks, they come up top in Google. Not only that, when we launched her new site for her, they were getting 0 web leads for a year. They got 0 web leads day 1. No advertisements. They got 10 web leads.
Really?
The first day we launched their site.
Bam!
Isn't that awesome? People were looking, they just couldn't find it.
These are real examples that you can. So I encourage you, as we go through this podcast, as we go through this radio show today, work off the assumption that what I'm saying is not true, and then look it up. I mean, if you type in Tulsa iPhone repair, you're going to find phone doctors coming up top in Google search results. And that's not because they're good people, they're hard workers. It's because we understand how to optimize your website to get to the top of Google. So the question I have for you is, do you know how to do it? Because if you do know how to do it, great. If you don't, listen up. Here we go. So on the back end of your website, you have to optimize the back end of the website. That's the stuff people don't see. You have to optimize the back end of the website. That's half the equation. The other half is on the front end of the website. Your website needs to look visually better than your competition, and it needs to be focused on converting first-time customers. So here are all of the variables that you must have on your site in order for that to happen. These are the 9 variables that you have to have on your website, okay? Your website has to be Google Canonical compliant. So for anybody who hasn't heard this before, Marshall, in a nutshell, what does it mean to be Google Canonical compliance? Because obviously we'll put on the show notes the downloadable where people can click and they can see the visuals. But it's kind of hard to explain it just verbally. But what does it mean to be Googly Canonical compliant?
Well, canonical comes from the root word canon, which is meaning set of rules. And so when they were founding Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they had to create a set of rules for how the search algorithm was going to work. And so they had to create all the different rules, things like your meta title tag. Things like your meta title or your meta description. Things like how many words need to exist on a page for Google to index it. They had to create the rules for how they were going to evaluate whether or not a website was compliant.
Now, I'm going to give you an example that those of you who are subscribers to ThriveTimeShow.com, you can see visually if you subscribe. It's $19 a month. You get all the video versions of what we record here. But I have in my hand a copy of the book called Guerrilla Marketing with Technology, and this is by J. Conrad Levinson, right? Then I have a copy of a book in my hand called, a signed copy, by the way, of More Than a Hobby by the founder of Hobby Lobby, David Green. Now, on both books, on the back of the book, they have a barcode. There's a barcode back here. This one's kind of obstructed because we have a price tag on it, I guess. I bought it for $14.99.
Hey-o.
Now this one over here has a barcode. You can see it if you're watching the video here. Who came up with barcodes? And who came up with, Marshall, to get your book on Amazon, you have to have an ISBN number?
Yeah.
What is that?
Is every book that is in circulation, it has to have some type of registered number that is used to track it between the internet and bookstores and anywhere else that they're selling books.
It's an international standard book number, and it's a unique numeric commercial book identifier. And someone says, why do I have to have that? Move on. Quit asking that, right? I mean, well, why? Listen, I am very, very confident that I could spend the rest of my life. I'm doing the research right now for a show we're going to be airing here soon about the life and times of Stephen Hawking. And let me tell you what, like, he spent his whole life trying to figure out, whether black holes can truly consume things, or whether they were actually just portals into another dimension. And I got to be honest with you, I don't care. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I don't care at all about any of that stuff because it doesn't help me optimize my life. Now, that guy was totally physically confined to a wheelchair, and he could only use his cheek muscle, which is how he navigated the internet and how he wrote. So I applaud the guy for using that time to move forward with research. But this show is only about practical, actionable, how to grow a business kind of stuff. And so if you're hung up on why you have to be Google Canonical compliant or how your cell phone works, then we can't move on. Now, we can show you how it works. And so if you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on this particular podcast, you will find the downloadable link. It's a link to a infographic where we show how it works. But again, they had to come up with some system. They were like the cowboys of the internet, and the internet wasn't organized. They had to come up with a way to do it. I mean, today we have zip codes. Why do we call them zip codes? Why do we have zip codes? Because somebody eventually had to organize things. I mean, why do we have a phone number with the 918 and then you have the number after that? Why? Because they had to eventually organize the way you make phone calls. I mean, there had to be a way, and Google made the rules. So if you follow them, you win, right? But if you don't, you lose. I don't like the rules of law. I oftentimes won't pay my taxes at all. It's just something I'm into. Well, that's cool, except you're going to end up in prison with the guy who's excited to see you.
You've used this example before.
I'm so excited to be with you. I was looking for a snuggle buddy.
Ooh, is that a lady?
Yeah.
You can argue with the Google canonical rules if you want. You can also argue with gravity, and you can go up on top of the building and you can jump off and then let us know how that goes for you. But gravity's going to win. Same thing. Google's going to win. Like, they've already built. They do this. This is what they do. So let's follow their rules and get to the top of Google.
So the next thing is you have to have the most reviews. You have to have the most reviews. I'll tell you why you have to have the most reviews. Because Google says you do.
Wait.
Now, you might say, well, I don't like that at all. Is there another reason? Yeah, because customers trust reviews. In fact, according to Forbes, we'll put a link on the show notes, 88% of consumers read reviews before making a purchase. 88%. We'll also put the link on here. Inc. Magazine shows that 91%. So Inc. Magazine's a little bold with their predictions, a little bold with the numbers. 91% of people read reviews according to Inc. 88% of people read reviews according to Forbes. But everybody is using Google according to who? You, me, everybody. But I use Bing. You use Bing? That's awesome. Stay tuned. It's the Thrive Time Show on your radio.